Today we're going to learn how to paint the green glows from the Indomitus Necrons.
That the entirety of the cosmos is accessible to each and every individual's mind, connecting to the great mind, the great spirit.
Welcome back to the channel, collectors. So today we're going to be painting the green glows on the Necrons from the Indomitus set. Alright, so if you're ready, let us begin. Alright, so we're going to paint the green glow coming up from the Indomitus Necron miniatures. Alright, so with a mix of raw umber, fluorescent, we're going to start with our base coat. So this base coat will be the area of influence of the green glow. So you want to make sure that this is pretty generous and you can do it very widely. I'm currently using a 0.3 airbrush and there is no precision involved in this at all. Okay? I'm going to make sure that the layer is as opaque and as solid as possible. So I'm currently doing this for the inner mechanisms of the Necron reanimator as well as the 3 orbs that are glowing on the miniature. Okay, don't be too concerned about spraying out of the area because we're going to clean that up in subsequent steps. Okay, just gonna spray the warm green color in these areas too. Following up, what we're gonna do is I'm currently spraying pure fluorescent green onto the source of the light. I'm aiming to make sure that there is a complete coverage of the source of light, number one, and if there are any subsequent leaks around the area, it's fine too. I'm going to make sure that the glow is also as opaque as possible so that subsequent layers which are built on top of this glow tend to carry the properties of the fluorescent paint. I've seen many people try to have a not so opaque glow, and yeah, and that seems to be the result. Alright, so what I've done is I've sprayed a little bit of white and now I'm currently spraying a glaze of fluorescent green with fluorescent yellow. So this allows the glow to look a lot more warm in comparison to the pure green which we have sprayed at the start. So as you guys can see, this already gives a very convincing glow, and if you want to do a miniature for tabletop, I guess this is fine. But if you want to take your miniature painting to the next level, you can watch on and see what I'm doing. Alright, so right now I'm currently mixing fluorescent green, mixed in with a little bit of Vallejo German camo, German beige. Alright, so this will serve as the mid-tone. Adding a little bit of Chimera green in this. I'm going to start boldly putting in some highlights on the surfaces. Because the light source is really strong, there will be highlights which will form on the surfaces facing the light source. Alright, so right here what I'm doing is I'm placing really large chunks of highlights which you will see in subsequent steps. At this stage you want to be pretty aggressive with your highlights, and you want to make sure that these highlights also start to showcase the individual components surrounding the light source. Just as I mentioned just now, if you are looking to do a tabletop version of this, the previous stage would be sufficient. However, right now we want to make sure that the light source emphasizes every single little component around the light source. Hence, that's why we're doing this right now. So I'm mixing in a little bit of Vallejo model color ivory, and this will serve as the highlights. I'm very roughly placing in the highlights, so it's going to be a little bit messy, but it's fine because we'll be doing some cleanups later. When placing the highlights, it's very important to look at where the light is coming from and which surface is the most exposed to the light source. This will help you guide where to place the highlights and what shape to put the highlights in. So I'm placing in some bright fluorescent highlights, adding in a little bit of fluorescent yellow in this to add a bit of part differentiation. So moving closer to the light source, I'm starting to use a little bit of fluorescent yellow. However, further away from the light source, I'm using less and almost no fluorescent yellow. So as you guys can see, the values are getting increasingly high, and this showcases the various components surrounding the energy source. This would really be just airbrushing, but I guess this really makes the viewer able to understand all the individual components. So right now I'm currently using a little bit of black and green to do a bit of cleanup and to refine some of the lines. And now I'm re-highlighting. As you guys can see, the process is quite back and forth, and the final results will be out in just a little bit. Okay, so this is the result, and I hope you found this video useful.
So collectors, these are some tips to remember when you're painting green OSL. First, always make sure that the shadows have already been base coated in the dark green, which we have mixed previously. Secondly, we are also using a bit of fluorescence, so the fluorescence really helps boost the luminosity of this OSL, and you can always give it a try. Let me know when you try and tag us in the comments below. Alright? So if you really want to support the channel, head on to our Patreon and join our Patreon today. Patrons get exclusive videos and content, so you guys don't want to miss that out. I'd like to thank my patrons for supporting me, and you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe and all the other stuff. I'll see you in the next video. See you.